Ever wondered why some people just rub you the wrong way, especially if you identify as a Sigma male? In the following minutes, we're about to delve into the world of Sigma males, a rare breed of individuals who often find themselves at odds with certain behaviors that just don't sit right with them. We'll be identifying and explaining 7 of these behaviors that can spark irritation. Stay tuned to discover if you have encountered these behaviors and how they may affect your life. Sigma males are known for their solitary nature, which leads us to our first irritating behavior. Now, this solitary nature isn't about being antisocial or disliking people. It's about cherishing their own company, enjoying the quiet, and finding peace in solitude. But here's the rub. In a world that often values extroverted social butterflies, this can lead to misunderstandings and irritations. People who thrive on social interaction may perceive Sigma males as aloof, standoffish, or even rude. They might mistake their need for solitude as a personal slight or a rejection. And the constant pressure to socialize, to be out there, can be a real irritant for Sigma males. But here's the thing. It's not about being antisocial. It's about being differently social. Sigma males value deep, meaningful interactions over small talk and superficial relationships. Being social is great, but respecting personal space is equally important. Independence is a hallmark of Sigma males. This brings us to the second irritating behavior. Sigma males have a deep-seated respect for personal autonomy, particularly when it comes to decision-making. They're the type to chart their own course, not relying on the approval or validation of others. They trust their instincts, their intuition, and their ability to navigate the world on their own terms. Now imagine the irritation they feel when they encounter individuals who can't make a choice without first seeking the validation of others. Individuals who need their decisions to be rubber-stamped by everyone else. For a Sigma male, this isn't just frustrating, it's completely foreign to their intrinsic values. This reliance on others for decision-making can be perceived as a lack of trust in oneself, and by extension, a lack of trust in others. Sigma males see this as an affront to their own independence. Trust is the foundation of any relationship, and that includes trusting someone's ability to make decisions. Sigma males are non-conformists, and this leads to the third irritating behavior. They are not the ones to jump on the bandwagon just because everyone else seems to be doing it. They value authenticity over popularity, and this perspective often leads them to be irritated by people who blindly follow trends without thinking critically. It's not about being contrarian for the sake of it, but rather, it's about maintaining their individuality and not getting swept up in the sea of sameness. They believe in carving their own path, rather than following the well-trodden one. This can sometimes make them come across as aloof or indifferent, but in reality, they are simply marching to the beat of their own drum. Sigma males challenge the status quo and aren't afraid to question popular opinion. They value the substance over the surface, depth over breadth. While trends can be fun, they should never replace authenticity and individuality. Sigma males value direct communication, which brings us to the fourth irritating behavior. Sigma males are the straight shooters of the social hierarchy. They value clarity and brevity in their interactions. For them, there's nothing more irritating than vague or non-committal responses. When a Sigma male asks a question, they're not looking for a dance around the topic. They're seeking an answer, clear and direct. They have no time for the fluff or the unnecessary embellishments that often come with social chatter. To them, every word holds value and should be used wisely. This preference for directness isn't about being brusque or dismissive. Rather, it's a respect for efficiency and a disdain for wasted time. Sigma males appreciate when others respect their intelligence and respond with the same level of directness they themselves offer. Clear communication is not just about what is said, but also about respecting the other person's time and intelligence. Self-reliance is key for Sigma males, leading us to the fifth irritating behavior. Sigma males are not just independent thinkers. They are also self-reliant in their day-to-day lives. They value their ability to take care of themselves, to solve their own problems, and to make their own way in the world. It's not that they don't appreciate help when it's needed, but they highly value their self-sufficiency. So, imagine their frustration when they encounter people who constantly rely on others for their needs or happiness. Those who can't seem to make a decision without consulting a committee, or who can't face a challenge without seeking a hand to hold. To Sigma males, this is not just irritating, it's baffling. They believe that everyone has the capacity to be self-reliant, to take responsibility for their lives, and to find their own path. While it's okay to ask for help, it's also important to develop a sense of self-reliance and responsibility. Sigma males have a low tolerance for drama, which brings us to the sixth irritating behavior. Sigma males value tranquility and stability above all else. They are the lone wolves, the quiet observers, the ones who would rather sit back and watch the world unfold than engage in the chaotic dance of drama. They find unnecessary conflict and theatrics draining and counterproductive. Why waste energy on a squabble when there's a universe to explore, ideas to cultivate, and personal growth to attend to? Sigma males are firm believers in the power of productive solitude. They avoid drama not out of fear or incapacity, but out of a conscious choice to prioritize their peace over pointless disputes. They understand that drama often stems from ego clashes and unmet expectations, things they have no time for. They strive for a life of substance, not one filled with superficial noise. Life is too short for unnecessary drama. Let's focus on what really matters. Sigma males value substance over appearance, leading us to the seventh and last irritating behavior. Now there's something about Sigma males that's quite distinctive. They have this inherent dislike for show-offs. You see, Sigma males are not impressed by the flashy, the ostentatious, or the superficial. They appreciate people for their actions and values, not for their possessions or status. It's not about the car you drive, the designer clothes you wear, or the size of your bank account. To a Sigma male, those are just things, and things don't define a person's worth. What truly matters is who you are as an individual, your character, your integrity, your kindness, and how you treat others. So if you're the sort of person who likes to flaunt your wealth or social standing, know this. To a Sigma male, you're just making noise. True value lies not in what we own, but in who we are and how we treat others. So, those were the 7 irritating behaviors that Sigma males often encounter. We've traversed through the solitary nature of the Sigma male, a trait that often leads to misunderstandings and misinterpretations. We've explored how their independent decision-making can sometimes be mistaken for indifference or arrogance. We've looked into their non-conformity, a quality that sets them apart, but also makes them targets of unwanted attention. We've acknowledged their preference for direct communication, which can come off as harsh or blunt to those unaccustomed to such straightforwardness. We've admired their self-reliance, an admirable trait, yet one that often leaves them feeling isolated. We've empathized with their low tolerance for drama, a characteristic that can make social situations particularly grating. Finally, we've delved into their dislike for show-offs, a trait that can make them seem aloof or judgmental. These are the traits that set Sigma males apart, making them uniquely different and often misunderstood. As we conclude, it's essential to remember that understanding these behaviors is not about labeling or stereotyping, but rather about fostering empathy and acceptance. Whether you identify with these traits or see them in someone you know, understanding these behaviors can help bridge gaps and foster better relationships. Remember, understanding and respecting differences is the first step towards better relationships and a more harmonious society.